Need something? Hello, friend. I'm
So much.
Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it, or try anyway. And if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine too. That old sugar tooth? I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask Bacola Clausius, the owner. He'll know.
Bacola Clausius? He's the owner. He must be around here somewhere.
What is this
What
about?
brings you here, Breton?
Speak. Good day, I'm Bacola Clausius, publican of the South Wall here in Balmora. We rent beds, and I have a limited selection of goods for barter. If you're new here, I can also tell you where to look for other services or a specific place nearby. If you're looking for someone in particular, I may be able to help. Old Caius rents a little bed and basket just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door to the terrace, then right up the stairs, then left at the top of the stairs, and down to the end of the street. What? Yes, I'm Caius Cosades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Cosades? What are you talking about? So you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it. Yes, very interesting. So it says here the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the blades. And that means you'll be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders? Good. Welcome to the service, novice. Now you belong to the blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our blades trainers now. Or if you're in a hurry, I can give you orders right away. But don't forget to visit the blades trainers. First thing, Pilgrim, you're new, and you look it. Here's 200 drakes. Go get yourself a decent weapon, or armor, or a spell. And second thing, you need a cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurer is a common profession. Sign on with the Fighters Guild, or Mages Guild, or Imperial Cult, or Imperial Legion. Advance in the ranks, gain skill and experience, or go out on your own. Look for freelance work or trouble. Then when you're ready, come back, and I'll have orders for you. You can always just wander around and ask for work. Hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need are better skills and conditioning, and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you earn on equipment and training. Then come back a little less wet behind the ears, and I won't have to worry so much about you when I send you out on a mission. The Fighters Guild is a professional organization chartered by the Emperor to regulate the hiring and training of mercenaries. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. You'll have to start your service with Idis Fireeye, the Balmora Guild Steward. She's new, and I don't know her well. Perseus Mercius, the Aldrun Guild Steward, I know and trust, but he only handles higher-ranking assignments. It's a guild for the arcane arts, and it's where you go to find wizards for hire. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. If you want to be a wizard, join and work your way up the ranks. The Mages Guild here is a better bet than the Fighters Guild. Ranis Athras is the guild steward, so talk to her if you want to join up. She's got a chip on her shoulder, but her apprentice, Ajira, seems okay for a Khajiit. The Imperial Cult worships the 9 divines. The Aedra Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. In Morrowind, it's partly maintaining the faith for outlanders like us, and partly a missionary cult, bringing enlightenment to the heathen Dunmer. You can see Somutus Vunis at Fort Moonmoth to join, but you have to go to Ebonheart if you want to become a lay servant. Moonmoth Fort is the Imperial Legion garrison southeast of Balmora, just outside of town. Rad Hardheart is the knight in charge. Between the Imperial Legions and Imperial Cult staff, they have about a dozen service providers out there. Lay servants serve the Imperial Cult by doing various tasks. Not a lot of excitement, but safe, honorable, and rewarding. First, you have to join the Imperial Cult, then go to the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart to get work. See Sinolian Tunifus to become a lay healer. See Eulus Trupter to become an almoner, a fundraiser. See Kay to become a shrine sergeant. They do the more dangerous jobs. The Imperial Legion has several fort garrisons here on Vardenfell. The lower ranks handle law enforcement, escorts, rescues, dangerous predators, diseased and blighted beasts, and so forth. Only one fort accepts recruits, Fort Darius in Nisus. Nisus is a frontier outpost, isolated, a little rough, but good experience. If you're interested, see General Darius in Nisus. If you're looking for a safer posting, you should seek out Old Ebonheart on the mainland. In Old Ebonheart, and Firewatch, the other major colonist city on the mainland, the Legion acts as a local guard force, settling disputes, guard duty, and so forth. As I said, a safer posting. Old Ebonheart's a boat ride south of Vivet. The Camonatong is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. They're tough and ruthless, and have connections in the higher ranks of House Hlalu. The Camonatong competes directly with the Thieves Guild for control of illegal trade, and Camonatong will not tolerate competition. Compared with the Camonatong, the Thieves Guild is relatively decent and honorable, certainly less brutal. They don't accept outlanders as members. Forget about it. In the rest of the Empire, the Thieves Guild is a more or less organized group of local criminal syndicates governing illegal trade in their communities. Here in Morrowind, the Thieves Guild is the newcomer. The established local crime lords are called the Camonatong. The Thieves Guild doesn't advertise, partly to avoid the law, and partly to avoid the Camonatong, who have sworn to destroy the upstart Thieves Guild. Sugar Lips Habasi, over at the south wall, is the local guild boss. House Hlalu is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell. They're loyal supporters of the Empire, open-minded in religious and cultural matters, and greedy and ambitious in the best imperial tradition. It's difficult to rise in their ranks as an outlander, but the great houses hold the power in Morrowind. Talk to Hlalu counselors if you want to become a Hlalu retainer. House Redoran is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell, a very serious and honorable bunch. It's difficult for an outlander to join and rise in their ranks, but the great houses are where the power lies in Morrowind. Talk to Redoran counselors if you want to become a Redoran retainer. House Telvanni is one of the 3 Dunmer great houses on Vardenfell. Their nobles are 1,000-year-old wizards. Telvanni are supposed to hate politics, foreigners, and just about everything else, but the Vardenfell Telvanni are apparently more ambitious and adventurous than most. I don't know much about them, but they do hire Western mercenaries, and some even rise to higher ranks. Talk to Telvanni counselors if you want to become a Telvanni retainer. I don't know much about it. I've never seen a case myself. You can get it from contact with the Red Mountain monsters they call Corpus beasts. I think it's like a blight disease, only worse. It usually drives victims mad and causes terrible, deformed growths on the body. I'll check my informants and find out how to cure it. In the meantime, just follow your orders. I don't know what else to do. These Blades agents offer training, not free, of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Look for Rithleen, Tyre Malin, and Nine Toes here in Balmora. In Caldera, see Surain Leorian. In Aldrune, see Gildan. Jorvar Horsemouth lives in a hut west of Aldrune, and Ellen and the Scout can be found at Errol's trade house in Seda Neen. I also know of a few Blades trainers on the mainland if you ever find yourself there. Idra Uvalan lives in Firewatch. You can find Aquilinius at the Ebon Tower in Old Ebonheart, and Dur has a house in Andathrin. There may be other agents working on the mainland, but these are all you need to know about right now. Warrior Rithleen lives 2 houses south, upstairs. Healer Tyrmelin lives 2 houses south, downstairs. To get to Hunter Ninetoes, leave my door facing south. Go right, down the steps, then turn left and head south, looking for his door on your left. Mage Suran Leorian is in Caldera, the next town north. Her half-timber and stone house sits between the twin towers of the North Gate and the Governor's Hall. Nightblade Gildan lives in Aldrun, the Redoran district seat north of here, beyond Caldera. Gildan is in the southeast corner of town, in a house to the right of the steps up to the temple. Master-at-Arms Sjorvar Horsemouth lives in a Guar herder's hut in the middle of nowhere west of Caldera. I've only been there once and couldn't give you directions. Go look for him if you feel like a little hike. Elone the Scout can usually be found at Aril's trade house in Seda Neen. You know where that is. You arrived in Seda Neen by boat. Agent Dora lives in Andathren, the main port of House Flalu on the Inner Sea, southwest of Vivex. Her house is on the west side of town. Warrior Aquilinius can be found at the Ebon Tower in Old Ebonheart, southeast of Vivek. His post is in the palace's high chambers. Scout Indra Uvalan lives in her house in Firewatch. That's across the Inner Sea to the northeast, near the tip of the Telvanni Peninsula. Her house is in Uriel's Quarter in the south part of the city. Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Haspat Antabolus at the Balmora Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the Sixth House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first. Probably an ugly favor. But do it. Then get the information from Antabolus and report back to me. By the way, Hasfat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education. And I have a few history books in here. Help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it. He's drill master of the Balmora Fighters Guild. He's lived in Morrowind all his life, knows the natives, and talks a lot with backcountry mercenaries. He thinks of himself as a scholar, and he's particularly interested in Dwemer ruins and artifacts. Some Dunmer believe that an orphan and outcast, a youth born on a certain day to uncertain parents, will one day unite all the tribes of the Dunmer, drive out the invaders of Morrowind, and re-establish the ancient laws and customs of the dark elven nations. They call this orphan and outcast the Nerevarine, and say the Nerevarine will be a reincarnation of the long-dead Dunmer general and first counselor, Lord Indoril Nerevar. A trusted informant says they're a secret cult associated with some strange events recently, and, more important, my informant thinks these recent disturbances are related in some way to the Nerevarine prophecies. The illiterate Ashlanders pass down their customs and history in the form of poetic verses. Among the things they preserve in verse are the dreams and prophetic visions of their wise women, in particular the verses that foretell the coming of the Nerevarine. But I don't know much about it. That's why I'm sending you to find out. The Tribunal Temple is the native religion. They worship 3 god-kings, Almalexia, Sothasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. They're narrow-minded and superstitious, but I find a lot to admire, particularly their concern for the poor. They accept Outlanders as members, but few Outlanders join except for the services. Talk to Feldrello Sadri at the Balmora Temple if you're thinking about joining. Jeanette Sitta's little book is a good place to start. I have a copy here, take it. You might also look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Eramanwe of Sunhold. I don't know much about the Ashlanders. Most people say they are murderous savages, but most people are idiots. I know they hate their settled Dunmer cousins almost as much as they hate Westerners. They must be tough to live in the Ashlands. I don't think Outlanders can become members of the tribes. I don't know why anyone would want to. How do you judge a job's difficulty? Consider 3 things: location, opposition, and payoff. Long walks into the wilderness are usually tougher than local or town tasks. Tough opponents make tough jobs. Daedra, vampires, rogue Telvanni. You'll learn which ones to look out for. And finally, if the reward offered is large, the dangers will be large too. The rules for the Blades are simple. Follow orders, my orders. Don't steal from the Blades. Don't attack anyone from the Blades. Simple rules. Follow them or you'll be expelled. And once you're expelled, you're out forever.
Welcome. Rithleen is my name. Journeyman is my trade. I'd be happy to share a little advice or Morrowind lore with a fellow Blade. Or maybe you'd like to catch up on the latest rumors. Yes, we aren't trying to make a profit off our fellow Blades, and as you rise in rank, your discount increases. Still, we have to live, and training isn't cheap. Well, basic skill training, if you don't know very much, can be pretty cheap. But advanced skill training, for example, in your major specialties, that can get expensive. Here, I don't use this cuirass and helm anymore. Maybe you can get a few drakes for it and put them in your personal training fund.
Welcome. Tire Malin is my name. Journeyman is my trade. Basic skill training is cheap. We give you discounts for higher rank in the blades, and we keep our prices low. But advanced training is never cheap, even from us. Look, to get you started, here's my old alembic. Maybe you can get a few gold for it or use it yourself.
Welcome. Nine Toes is my name. Journeyman is my trade. The basics we can teach you won't cost much. Advanced training, though, that's expensive. If you're already skilled, you're much harder to teach. Maybe I can help you out. Here's a little moon sugar on the house. You do know that trade in moon sugar and skooma is against the law, and most alchemists and apothecaries won't buy it. But Khajiit generally will. Try Ajira at the Balmora Mages Guild, or Ravir, the trader in Balmora. Sell the sugar and start saving for training.
So what's hello again? Is this about my trade? Or are you here for a little advice? Normally I don't offer training, but since you're one of us, I'll just charge you for my time and effort. But the best way to learn is to teach yourself. Why don't I give you my old copy of Guide to Vardenfell? If you're going to work with us here, you'd best know something about the land and the people.
Welcome. Surana Leoriana is my name. Journeyman is my trade. I'd be happy to share a little. Of course we can train you. You pay, of course, but much less than you would outside the blades. And may I suggest you find someone to teach you the detect enchantment spell. Whenever you're exploring, it's good to know where enchanted items are. Sometimes that's where dangerous enemies are, holding the enchanted items. And sometimes that shows items hidden from view in deep pools or on high ledges. See Lara Suvain, the Nightblade, at the Caldera Governor's Hall.
Welcome. Gildan is my name. Journeyman is my trade. I'd be happy. Certainly I offer basic training at low prices to colleagues, but even at my low prices, advanced training isn't cheap. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Look, can I make a suggestion? Go see Wayne at the Balmora Guild of Fighters. Know what a Jink Blade is? It has a paralyze enchantment, and a Spider Blade has a poison enchantment. They're not considered honorable weapons, and most smiths don't sell them. But they sure come in handy.
Good day. So you're with Caius, eh? And Caius wants information? Of course, there's a this for that involved. I require a favor first, and then I'll tell you what you want to know. There are Dwemer ruins nearby called Arkangthand. I need you to run over there and find me a little cube with a circular design and some symbols on one side. It's called a Dwemer puzzle box. Bring me back the Dwemer puzzle box, and I'll tell you what you want to know. The old Dwemer ruins at Arkangthand are extensive on the surface and underground. Head south out of town past the Siltstrider port, then cross bridges east over the Odai River. At the signpost, head north towards Caldera. Immediately on the right, see a signpost for Molag Mar. Turn right and head uphill on an old road to cross an ancient Dwemer bridge over Foyada Mamea. The entrance to Arkangthand is on the east side of the Foyada, south of the bridge. Turn a crank on a pipe nearby to open the doors. Yes, Breton? So, have you done that little favor I asked? The little cube I'm looking for is about the size of a fist, maybe a little bigger. It will be made of a coppery metal with a circular design and symbols on one side and some lined marks on the other sides. That's all I want, that little cube. Perfect. Just what I was looking for. Just let me take this Dwemer puzzle box, and then I'll tell you what Caius will want to know about the 6th house and about the Nerevarine. By the way, the inscriptions on the box seem to be the directions for setting a Dwemer key to open a specific lock. If you're interested after you've delivered your report to Caius, come back and maybe I'll have a key you can take back to Arkenthand. House Dagoth is the 6th house, the lost 6th house. In the First Age, House Dagoth betrayed the other great houses during the War of the First Council and was destroyed for their treason. I can answer any questions you have, but I'll also give you some notes to give to Caius and recommend some 6th house references he should read. Here's a list of cheap books. All of them will tell you something about the 6th house and how it ended. The War of the First Council, Saint Nerevar, Nerevar Moon and Star, and the real Nerevar. Try the bookseller Dorissa Darvel over in the commercial district. She'll have at least some of these titles. House Dagoth was the 6th of the 7 Dunmer great houses. Nothing remains of the 6th house. Its members were all slain or adopted into other great houses following their treason in the War of the First Council. Their clanstead was called Kogaroon. The Ashlanders believe a reborn Nerevar will unite the Dunmer against the Outlander invaders and restore the ancient Dark Elven nation. Nerevar is a legendary hero and saint of the Temple, but the Temple denies the prophecy and persecutes heretics who believe in the Nerevarine. Tell Caius that Sharn Gramuzgob would be a better person to ask about the native faiths and superstitions. Are you here to discuss your orders, or is there something else you want? These notes are from Hasfat Antabolus? Excellent. I trust he didn't work you too hard for them. I'll look them over in more detail later, but now I have some new orders for you. I've glanced at Haspat Antabolus's notes. They cover the 6th house admirably, but not the Nerevarine cult. Hop on over to the Balmora Mages Guild. It's right next to the Balmora Fighters Guild. Get Sharn Gramuzgob to tell you what she knows about the Nerevarine. She'll have some silly errand for you. Do what she asks, and report back when she's given you the information. Very smart for an orc. An unhealthy interest in the dark arts, perhaps, but very smart. She's always worried that the temple will bust in and stick her in a fire, and worried with good reason.
Do not waste my time. No interruptions. How many times? Oh, you are one of Caius's associates. That is a different matter. Caius and I have a very satisfactory arrangement, and I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement if you will complete a little errand for me. The errand, then, is very simple. I need the skull of Levule Andrano. You'll find it in Andrano Ancestral Tomb. But take care not to upset the natives. The Dunmer have some peculiar, primitive prejudices against necromancy and take grave objection to unauthorized tomb visits. He was no one special, a journeyman enchanter. There may be many skulls in Andrano Tomb, but you'll have no problem recognizing Levule's skull from the ritual markings. The tomb is south of Pelagiad, just off the road, just before you reach the fork, where the road goes southwest towards Seda Neen and southeast to Vivek. You may need an enchanted blade. Some spirits are immune to normal weapons. Here, take this old short sword, and maybe these old scrolls will come in handy. In the Empire, necromancy is a legitimate discipline, though body and spirit are protected property and may not be used without permission of the owner. But in Morrowind, the Dunmer loathe necromancers and put them to death. That's absurd, of course, since the Dunmer summon their own dead to guard tombs and defend the family. Sacred necromancy is righteous, while philosophical necromancy is evil. It's primitive superstition, that's all. No, of course not. I can't teach you spells. I'm not a necromancer. No, absolutely not. Not a necromancer. Again, is this about the errand you are doing for me? Very good. I'll just take that skull from you. Perfect for what I have in mind. Thank you. Now, as I promised, I'll answer your questions on the Nerevarine cult. Go ahead. This Ashlander cult believes the long-dead hero Nerevar will be reborn to honor ancient promises to the tribes. According to legend, the prophesied Nerevarine will cast down the false gods of the Tribunal Temple, restore the traditional ancestor worship practiced by the Ashlanders, and drive all Outlanders from Morrowind. Both Temple and Empire outlaw the cult, but it persists among the Ashlanders, who care little for Imperial or Temple law. Here, take this copy of my notes on the topic for Caius.
I am a sleeper, one among thousands. I bring you a message. Dagoth calls you, and you cannot deny your lord. The sixth house is risen, and Dagoth is its glory. He is the lord and father of the mountain. He sleeps, but when he wakes, we shall rise from our dreams, shall sweep our land clean of the Enwa. Why have you denied him? As Lord Dagoth has said, all shall greet him as flesh, or as dust. The sixth house, the sleeping house, House Dagoth, the house of Lord Dagoth. The true house, the one house to welcome all true Dunmer and drive the Enwa from our land. Take heed, Outlander. The day of reckoning is at hand. Take what you can, and leave our place, for when Lord Dagoth comes, this will be no place for you. The Hlalu and Telvanni have been fighting over Odirniran for years.
Excuse me. I was just thinking, are you here to discuss your orders, or is there something else you want? And these are Sharn's notes on the Nerevarine cult? Excellent. I'm promoting you to Blade's apprentice. Now give me some time to think how this fits in with the Emperor's plans for you, and I'd like to see you at a higher level of conditioning before I send you out again. So take some time to polish your skills and enhance your cover story with a little freelance adventuring. Then when you're at the level of performance I want to see, I'll have new orders ready for you. I'm promoting you to apprentice rank, effective immediately. And here's a little present, 2 spell scrolls. The divine intervention will recall you to the nearest imperial shrine, and the Almsivi intervention will recall you to the nearest temple. They come in handy for a quick getaway. No thanks needed. You're doing great work. Now get out of here and let me read.